I took this buy here above the signal bar, really small size, just one share, risking 50 cents or something, just because it's in a tight trading range. It's a signal bar, it's a double bottom here, and a higher low and a decent signal bar for a potential breakout, but it's a really big gap up, so just trying to get a feeler position, get my first trade in. So just risking 50 cents, looking for a breakout, but it's probably not going to become a bull trend here from here before pulling back, so I won't hold it too long. I just thought that there would be a chance that this could lead to a breakout, so that's why I took it, but still very cautious, so only one share. Got a bull bar here, but not a very strong breakout, so I'd like to see a little bit more. If we get a bear signal bar here, that would be a second entry short, and I'd probably exit below there. Just ended up getting out there. Wasn't doing exactly what I wanted it to, so that was just 7 cents. I took another chance on it after we got this inside bar buy signal. It's still high after a big gap up, so I'm unsure about it, but I traded a bit bigger because we got a breakout pullback, so I'm not looking for too much. I'm long 5 shares, stop below here. We could get a breakout, strong breakout, but more likely it'll just be a trading range, so I'll look to take most off, or maybe all off pretty quickly if we rally. If not, if we get a sell signal, I'll be very quick to exit, and obviously if it comes down here, then I'll get stopped out. One of my main reasons for entering here was I was looking for a second entry short here in an area where I thought it was likely, and we just couldn't get enough selling pressure to get a downside breakout, and so we kept trying to go down and couldn't. We got these tails on the bottom, and so when we couldn't go lower, I thought even though it's a big gap up and trading range price action, I thought we might go a little bit higher first, try to get the breakout. If not, then form some kind of trading range, and then I can sell a bit higher. Anyways, that was my thought process. We'll see if it works out. We're trying to get the breakout here. I just exited again. Was hoping that this breakout bar was going to be a lot bigger. I didn't want to give it too much room. I might have been a little bit quick there to get out. Just didn't want to give it too much room. I was hoping for this bar to be a stronger breakout bar if I was going to hold it. So a little bit extra tense in here just because we're so high right now. I'd rather be selling in here, but my reasoning for both of these buys was that I was looking for sells, but the sells never looked quite as good as they could, and didn't look like the bears were creating enough selling pressure to make it bearish from up here. So every time we tried to get a sell signal, it reversed up and then formed a better buy signal. And so even though it's a bit high, it just felt like we have to go a bit higher before creating a sell. So now I'd like to sell, but I have to wait for some kind of signal. So up 37 cents on these two trades. All right, I just sold here. I'm not sure if I got it on the recording, but I tried to sell this close, but I ended up selling with a sell limit, so I didn't get filled. And then after we sold off, tried to sell a pullback here. So I have a wide stop, 4 shares as my first entry, and I'll either use a wide stop and see how it acts, or I'll scale in higher. So I was hoping to sell a pullback and for it to continue down. Didn't get the close I wanted here, but I think upside is limited, so give it a chance. I think the better sell would have been waiting for this bar to close and selling above it. I think that's a reasonable sell. Mine was a bit more aggressive. Yeah, what I tried to do is try to sell that close, which would have been good for 20 cents. And so because I missed that, I think I tried to chase a little bit. I didn't chase, but I waited for a pullback here, which ended up creating this bar with a big tail on the bottom. So had I sold this close, I would have been out for 20 cents already. Had I sold above this bar, I would have already made 20 cents. So I'm kind of in the middle. All right, just ended up exiting. Didn't like that it didn't get there on this trade, on this bar, and also I felt like I was in the middle. Selling this close was what I wanted to do, and that worked. Selling above here was reasonable, and that worked. And I was kind of in the middle of both. Um, so I needed it to drop a little bit extra for my profit target to get filled, and just didn't feel comfortable with it anymore. So I'm out. So 3 pretty much break-even trades today at 41 cents. If this bar closes on its low, I'd be willing to sell below it. We had this climactic move up, and then we had a second leg up from that move, and we reversed back down. So I think that would be a reasonable sell. Okay, so it just got filled. Now I don't know if I should exit above that. Tough situation. I thought it was reasonable. Now we have a double bottom bull flag and a bull signal bar, so not sure. Because it's not looking right, I'm going to try to take off half at my initial entry. So I'm going to get out half just to lower my risk a bit. Alright, so limited my risk there. Does not look anything like I wanted to, so I think it would even be reasonable to exit the full position there. Okay, I just decided to get out of the full thing there. At this point, I'm just hoping for it to break down. I mean, my setup did not include a huge bull bar here after my entry, and so I was waiting for a strong move down, a third consecutive bear bar. Didn't get it. I think I took a small loss on the first 6 shares. Yeah, so it's 8-cent loss total. So not much going my way, but still positive. So I'm grateful for that. But it's a bit frustrating, and it's a lot of work to keep entering and exiting, and not have the market go in your favor. I just bought that close there. Surprise breakout from a full flag, but tight channel, so could pull back. But I think this move is strong enough that the first reversal down will be bought. So I bought 5 shares and willing to buy more lower. But I also think that it's possible that we get a lower high here. So I'm not going to hold it for a swing. Just looking for a test of this high here. I think this move is strong enough, so it's not worth getting out below the bear bar. But obviously that's not the kind of follow through I wanted. I mentioned on this bar, the bear bar, that it wasn't the follow through that I wanted to see. And on the next bar, a lot of bulls who bought that close exited break even. And I didn't know what the right thing to do was, because I thought it was strong enough, so it would probably go higher or bounce from a higher low. And wouldn't go straight down, so I thought it was okay to stay long. But I don't know what the right thing to do is, because I think what also deterred me from getting out break even is that I've been doing that all day today, and so I didn't want to have another trade where I just exit break even. So that probably played a role, but I also was a little bit uncertain. So I think the premise is okay, that strong enough reversal up, probably not going to go straight down. But I also think it's okay to exit break even if I'm disappointed by this bear bar. So I'll see what happens here, and then adjust, and just use this as a data point to see what to do in the future. After getting in on this close, if I see this bar, knowing that there's a chance of a deep pullback, maybe it is best to get out break even and then reevaluate and then buy lower if we get a signal, because it seems like a test of this high or a test somewhere down here is reasonable after a 10-bar bear micro channel. So I don't know if I should be expecting even this to rally from a buy the close. I'm not sure. This was a tough one. I was open to scaling in, so I felt it was okay, but it's also a very, very tight bear channel, so we might need to pull back. So I need to think about this with a clear head and figure out what I should have done or what I could have done better. Okay, now that we have a double bottom here, I'll put my stop below, and then if we come below here and reverse up a third time, then I'll re-enter with a full position. But I think this attempted bottom here is enough for me to move my stop up. Alright, I took 2 shares off there just to limit my risk a bit. So 2 shares off at 311.45, entered at 311.70. So 50 cents. I took a 50-cent loss by taking that smaller loss, but limited my downside in case we do come down here. I'll take a smaller stop out. Alright, I just added those 2 shares back on, plus 3. So I added 5 shares above that bull bar, thinking that we're getting a couple of consecutive bull bars closing at their highs, double bottom, starting to rally. So I thought it was reasonable to buy above that one. This one I was uncertain, but then this one made me feel a little bit more confident that the double bottom is working the way it should. So hopefully we get up to my entry and a little bit higher. Alright, just ended up getting out there of my full position. It tried to get up to my entry a couple times here. Had a few opportunities, but just couldn't get there on this bar, and then we ended up with a bear signal bar. So still 5 bars up, but so I don't think it's a good sell below the bear signal bar, but I gave it a few opportunities to get there to my entry and didn't get there. So I knew that where I was exiting was about the midpoint between my initial entry and my second entry. So I knew I'd be getting out about break even. I think I lost a little bit. Yeah, so I lost about 50 cents because I lightened the load here and took off 2 shares. I took a 50-cent loss. So I got out break even in between my 2 entries, but I took a 50-cent loss on these shares. So I ended up with a 50-cent loss net. Really, really stressful to sit through all this, but also it really forced me to analyze every single bar because my entry has to be precise, and I need to make sure that I'm not risking too much. If I see a breakout starting to happen, I need to exit right away because I don't want to get my stop hit. So when I see this bar, I'm thinking it forced me to think about what the next 3 bars need to look like or might look like. So if I see this bar, I'm thinking even if I get a bull signal, I can't buy above it because it's a big enough bear bar that we might need a second entry. Then we get a pause and another bear bar. So I'm thinking the next bar, even if it's a bull bar, it's a 7-bar bear microchannel or 6-bar bear microchannel. So I can't buy above that, so I gotta wait. And that means I have to wait for consecutive bull bars. So here we got three consecutive bars without a big bear body, and this bar closed on its high, but not enough buying pressure. I don't think it's enough buying pressure, so I gotta wait a little bit more. If I get another bull bar closing on its high, that might be okay. So I'm really looking at every single bar more than I would normally do when I'm just looking for a regular entry. And so as stressful as it was, I feel like I really had to analyze this bar by bar and figure out when's the best time to get in. But yeah, so a 28 or 50 cent lesson to get this experience. I think it was okay. I'm okay with these kinds of things just because I feel like there's so much to learn in here, and I do feel like I learn more when I'm in it. Way more attentive, way more focused, and I think there's a lot to unravel here. So once I analyze this, I'll try to figure out what I could have done better. I think there's a lot I could have done better, but I have to really look through it. And just a day full of break-even trades, pretty much. I bought here. We had a really big surprise up. I wanted to buy during the bar, but I just kept looking to the left and seeing that how high we were, so I didn't buy. And once the bar closed all the way up here, I just bought the market as it was falling for 5 shares. Ideally, I want to see some good follow through, but I think we should get at least a small second leg up. Hoping for better follow through there. So just got out. That seems to be the theme for the day. I have an order to buy above this bull bar here. We had a surprise bar. I bought a pullback, but then got out because of the bad follow through. Now we went sideways and got a bull bar closing near its high. So we pulled back and now we're breaking out. I think it's a good opportunity for continuation of the surprise. And I think the bull bar, if it triggers, decreases the chances that this is just a trap. I might order 20 cents higher. Just got out there, break even again. Down 25 cents still. So we had a good entry bar after it triggered the buy signal, but then we got a bear bar. Didn't quite get up to my target. So we got a bear bar closing here. It's low, so I just exited. It's a very tight channel. It's a micro channel, so probably not going to go straight down. Probably going to go sideways first, but it just didn't look like I wanted it to look, so I just exited. Probably done for the day. It's been a really stressful day, really exhausting day, and pretty frustrating just because just everything's break even. A few bad entries, but I don't know, just doesn't feel right today. And I'm worried because the fact that I've been getting out break even all day is now, that thought is starting to creep into my mind that now I don't want to get out break even because it just looks like another wasted trade. I mean, sometimes it's warranted to get out break even, and if I'm gonna prevent myself from getting out break even because I don't want it to look like a wasted day, then it's gonna force me to take some losses that I shouldn't take. So I think my decision making is a bit off. So I don't think I should be taking any more trades today.